Thanks a lot for joining us this morning, if it's morning in your time of the world, for the very first client insights for 2024. So I'll give you all a few minutes to get joined properly in Zoom, familiarize yourself. If you don't mind opening up the chat section, the chat button at the bottom of the Zoom panel, and sending us a message just to say hey and check that you can hear me okay and see my screen and everything, that'd be great. As you can see, we've also got Jaden on the webinar this morning, so I'll introduce him properly in a second. But just a bit of housekeeping before we really kick off. This session is being recorded. I'll just double check that. Yep. So I'll send that out afterwards, a copy of the recording, as well as any links and resources that we mentioned today if you do need to jump off early or if you just don't catch a link. But Jaden will be pasting, the links I mentioned into the chat as we go as well. So good to keep that up. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Tanya. Thanks a lot for joining along. Hi, Rhonda. Good that you can all see and hear me. Hey, everyone. Thanks a lot for coming. All right. Please use the chat panel as we go to ask questions as well. If there's anything that comes up, there is a little technical element to what we're talking about today, so you may have some questions, but also just feel free to use the Q&A session we'll have at the end. If you have any questions in general about your website or marketing or anything like that, Jaden and I will happily stick around to help answer any of those if we can. All right, let's get into it. So we got a few announcements for you today. So first up, I'll be stepping you through the technical bit I mentioned, Google and Yahoo's new email policy requirements. And then we can get into some of BizInk's announcements, including our new website themes, a Chrome plugin, and what we're working on next, and that Q&A session that I mentioned at the end as well, as always. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Anthea, your Customer Success Manager here at BizInk. I'm based in Brisbane in Australia, and I've worked at BizInk for about 7 years now, almost, rounding up. And we've also got Jaden on the call today. A bunch of you probably already know him as our head of support, but he's also our head of development, so that keeps him pretty busy. Hey, Jaden.
Yeah, kept busy. But hello, everybody. Good to say hello here. First time I've been on one of these webinars. And for those who are wondering, yes, Anthea and I are siblings. And we do actually share an office as well. So we'll try and rotate who's on mute just so the audio stays a bit clearer for you.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Jaden. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are happy to meet you properly, not face-to-face, but close enough virtually. So if any of you ever have any questions about your website, again, a bit more technical ones maybe, feel free to email us at support@bizinkonline.com. That will raise a ticket and Jaden will handle it, but he can also triage it if it needs to come to me or anyone else in the team. So we're really keen to hear this year if you have any special, requests or anything that we can sort of help with. For example, we've had a few clients in Australia alert us to a tax office change here that requires clients or new clients, I believe, to go through quite a number of steps to sort of authorize them to work on their behalf. Probably simplifying it here, but this is my understanding. And as such, we were able to develop a bit of a resource to try and help people through that. If there's any Aussie clients listening, that's the ATO client linking. So if you're interested in that resource, we're currently deploying it, one by one to Australian clients as it comes up. But feel free to type into the chat ATO or something if you want us to add that for you. But for clients elsewhere in the world or even other Australian clients, if there's something similar that's coming up, doesn't have to be a tax office change, but maybe something like that you think we could develop a resource for you or could help out in some way, feel free to email us, support@bizinkonline.com, and we'll do our best to come up with something. If it's something we can develop once for all our clients, it's a time saver for everyone as well. So we'll definitely have a look into it if we can. All right, let's kick off. Let's get into this month's announcements. So the first update is a bit techy, as I've sort of warned you, and there's numbers and equations, or maybe not equations, but equals and all this on screen here. So let me talk you through it. I just want to address this first, as it is quite important, but it also, looks a bit confusing. So basically, Google and Yahoo are introducing a new policy starting tomorrow. So from the 1st of February, you will need a DMARC, DMARC, DNS record if you use a custom email address. So for example, Anthea at bizinconline.com uses the custom domain of bizinconline.com. So this applies to you. If you have a domain like that, or if you plan to get one, then we'll talk through the changes that are coming from tomorrow. So when an email server like Gmail or Yahoo receives an email, as you probably know, they do spam checks. So I'm sure you know, they're checking the content of the email, making sure there's nothing fishy in there. But they also check and verify who sent the email, and they check, is that person allowed to send that email from that email address? So there's a couple of records at play here. There's an FSBF record, which checks that they are allowed to send from that email address, and a DMARC record, which is the policy that applies if they aren't allowed to send from that address. And that's really what we're talking about here. The change is what policy needs to be in place, or just the fact that there needs to be a policy. So the receiving server, so Google or Yahoo in this instance, then looks at the custom domains policy. So using at bizinconline.com as the example today, they see what's their policy for handling emails that fail those checks. If somebody is trying to send an email from you, but they're not actually allowed. So the policy then dictates what that receiving server will do with that email. So whether it quarantines it, marks it as spam, deletes it, rejects it, or does nothing is a policy as well. So hopefully that's clear as mud for you. But what's changing is the new requirements are that you need to have a policy. It doesn't say what the policy needs to be. In fact, the policy can just be, as you might be seeing on screen, P equals none. So basically do nothing. That's okay. That's a policy. Do nothing about this is a policy. But at BizInc, our recommendation would be quarantine it, which means your policy tells the receiving server to mark this as spam if somebody's basically, I don't know if I'm going to use the right word, Jaden, but if somebody's basically trying to spoof you or act as you, Jaden will come on and explain this properly.
Impersonate you.
Impersonate you, yeah. So I think that's probably the best policy would be to mark it as spam, safer for everyone, I believe, and just mark it that way. So that's our recommendation, but the requirement for the moment is just a policy. So the first step, obviously, is to check if you currently have a policy in place. So I've got a link on screen there. Jaden's going to paste it in the chat in a second, but I'll also do an example run using this free online checker that we found as well. So we'll use that free online tool to do a lookup and see if you have a policy. And then I guess if you have IT people, that's probably the best thing to do at the moment is contact them and just ask them if you have a policy, or if not, if they could add the DMARC record of V equals DMARC1, P equals quarantine, that string you see on screen there, which again, we'll send out via email. We'll put in the chat shortly as well. So if you don't have IT people, we can provide some guidance on what to do, but I just want to let you know we don't actively support this at BizInc. It's not really what we do here. We just want to advise you on, what we think is best, and, it will affect your deliverability. So we're trying to provide some advice on what we think is best here, and we will support you as best we can, but we're not, an managed IT company, just to make that clear. So Jaden, feel free to jump on now if there's anything to add there, but maybe you can just talk through who this really is going to affect right now, coming tomorrow.
Sure. Well, at the moment, this only affects people who send 5,000 emails per day or more. But we do expect that now Gmail, Yahoo have introduced that limit. They will start to tighten that up in the future. So it'd be a good idea to add this now. That way you're fine for anything that comes along in the future. The one thing I did want to mention about the 5,000 per day limit is that actually would include like if you have an email newsletter on your site, plus all of your internal office emails as well. So if you add up that number, that's the actual number of emails you're sending per day. So for a few people, you actually, they might think, oh, I'm nowhere near 5,000 yet. Yeah, actually a lot closer than you think. But a number of people, it won't affect them, but it's still a good idea for them to actually implement it now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you might send a newsletter to 2,000, but then you've got team members that are also sending however many a day. So these all add up. Yeah. Jaden, I've just noticed, could you send that link instead of to hosts and panelists to everyone? Just a Zoom chat setting, that's all. But I'm going to go do an example one now of that link Jaden's going to send anyway. So does anyone want me to do this lookup for them live on, on the webinar now and just check for you? If so, could you please just type into the chat your domain? So for example, bizinconline.com or abcaccountants.com, and I'll do a lookup for you in just a second. And just in the meantime, if anybody has any questions, just, sorry, I'm looking between screens to check your comments. So yep, we will send you an email with the link and questions you should ask your IT for sure, Andrea. That's a good, yeah, we can send you something that you can then pass on if you have IT people. Happy to do that. All right, we've got a couple of people volunteering. Thanks very much. So I will jump off now and use this DNS checker that we've sent the link to as well. Let me just check who was first. Tanya, forwardaccounting.co.nz. Thank you, Tanya. Okay. Currently, there's no DMARC record, so no policy. So we'll definitely reach out with what we suggest you should do, Tanya, and that would be adding a DNS record, a DMARC record that has the quarantine string. I'm probably calling these all the wrong words, but I will send you what we recommend as well. But that's how you will know if you don't comply currently. I'll just show you at BizInc Online, I guess, to show you how you would know if it did comply. So you would see, yeah, a totally different message, and we've got a quarantine policy there as well. I'll check one more for today, and then the rest, Jane and I can do after the call. Thanks, Melinda. Simplifiedbookkeeping.com.au. I think I've spelled that right. Again, I expect this is probably going to be the case for most people. No DMARC policy found. So this is something we do recommend you get onto. Even if you don't send 5,000 emails a day, like Jaden said, we really believe this is just going to be a matter of time before Google and Yahoo roll this out to everyone. So thanks for those people who put their domain in the chat. We'll reach out to you individually after the webinar. Yes, this webinar is being recorded, so I'll send you a copy of it and all the resources, links, and everything we mentioned. So I'll be in touch. All right. If you have any questions about that, send them through either now or to support afterwards, and we'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'll keep moving on to some less techie, more fun updates. All right, oh, I did that. Yep. Oh, just our emails on screen. If you're still not sure, if you've looked up and you're not sure what it says, email us and we'll happily check for you. All right, some more fun things. Drum roll, please. Jaden's also been beavering away behind the scenes building BizInc's very first Chrome extension. So if you use Google for your email, Gmail, and you want access to our best email templates, then this is something that I believe you should take a look at. So Jaden, can you come on and tell us a bit about what you've built?
Sure. Yeah, we've just launched this free Google Chrome plugin, as you said. It's for anybody who currently uses Gmail, but that it'll also work if you use like the Gmail for Business with your own email domain as well, not just at Gmail accounts. But this is a selection of our email marketing templates and workflow templates that will help with will help you with communicating with your clients and proposals. And some of the templates include asking for a referral or asking for a Google review, or even a template when someone is late for a meeting. There is no account setup required. It's just a Google Chrome plugin that you add to your Google Chrome, and then there's a button right next to the send option when you're creating a new email that allows you to insert um, one of the email templates. And I'll put a link to the plugin in the chat now.
Great. So I'll go show you what this actually is in a second. But Jane's going to put the link in now. Just want to warn you, it is very much a version 1 thing for us. So a few rough edges. We've literally launched an update of it this morning as well, which is cool. But I do think there's, lots of value here for you in getting our templates into your email platform right then and there. And as we do future updates, that value is just going to increase. So I think Jayden mentioned maybe free forever as well, no account setup needed. It's sort of the first stage in Compass, which will be just a little teaser. We'll be talking more about that in a second. And I just want to reassure you as well, this will be coming for Outlook Online next as well. So that's Jayden's next project. I know lots of you will probably be keen for that, but if anyone's using Gmail or Google for their mail, this could be useful for you now. So I will jump off and show you. Firstly, the link that Jayden put in there is to the Chrome Web Store where you can add the extension. From memory, Jayden, there'd be a blue button up here, I think, that will say add.
Yes, it'll say add to Chrome right there, but you've got it installed already.
Yeah, so mine says remove, but it should say add up there, and you can install that there. I think it's pretty quick. And then how it actually works is inside your Gmail when you're composing a new email. What I actually recommend you do first is fill in the recipient, so the to field. So I'll just use Jayden as an example. And then you'll see down here next to the send button, I've got a couple of extensions on as well, but so it depends how many you've got, but it'll show somewhere here. And you'll see the BizInk icon, and if you hover over it, it'll say Compass Templates. So click that, and this is where you get access to our templates straight away inside your email, your Gmail. So you can click the one that suits you best. I'll click ask for a testimonial. And the feature we've just released this morning is that it can even pull in the name of the person you're sending it to. This might be a future update that we get rid of the last name, but at least it pulls in their name, so you can just customize it a little bit as well. Again, these are templates, so feel free to change the actual wording to you. They might be 90% of the way there, and you want to add your own personalizations. Especially in this one, you're asking a client for a testimonial, so you might personalize it a bit to that client or add your own little sign off or whatever. So hopefully you enjoy this. Let me know what you think. Feel free to go install it for free today and let us know. Any questions, again, send it to us via support@bizinkonline.com. But I hope you find that useful as well. I think that's it for the Chrome plugin. So stay tuned for the same, but via Outlook as well. Feel free to send us a message if you'd like us to add you to the waitlist for that, or if you have a particular template that you'd like to request, a particular email maybe that you send time and time again, or that you'd need help writing. Happy to look at that as well. So more and more templates will be getting added into this for free as well. Cool. So the next update from BizInk is that we've been working on lots of new themes. So to take a step back, you may or may not know that we offer a free website refresh at BizInk. So this is because we want you to still be happy with your website, even if you've been with us for years. Often people do a brand refresh, or they just want to freshen up the website after a couple of years. So we offer a free website refresh, and Jayden's pasted the link to find out more about that. We do put you into a queue. It is a project we have to manage. It's building an entirely new website after all. So there are some parameters around that, which you can read in that document as well. So that link will talk you through what the refresh is and how long it takes. And the second link we'll paste in is the gallery of designs that you can choose from. And that's what we've been working on quite a lot in the back end lately, is adding new themes, designing new themes, and working through all the tweaks that come with that sort of a process. The reason I encourage you to consider one of these new themes is because they're built on our new flexible platform. So what that means is it's really easy to drag and drop things around now on our flexible platform. So it could be, that you add some testimonials in higher up on your website than you were previously able to do, for example. But it also means you can basically build out landing pages designed how you want them to be as well. So there's not quite the rigidity, if that's the word, of the previous designs that we had. So take a look at the gallery Jayden sent through, and the flexible ones are the first 4 listed in here. So wave, capsule, tab, and radius. You'll see this note. Anything below this line is on our older non-flexible platform. Still great designs, and you are still welcome to choose them, but our strong recommendation is look sort of above the line. And we are launching 4 or 5 more this year, hopefully. So there'll be lots more coming there, and we'll probably just transition to that flexible platform. So really the announcement is that we've launched a new one called Radius. So I've got a little screenshot of that on screen. There is a link in that gallery to an example website on it as well, which you can check out. And hopefully in the next, I'm guessing in February, we'll have a couple of more sites live on that theme. So thank you to those clients that have been the guinea pigs for that theme. So if anyone is interested in that, feel free to just email production@bizinconline.com and we can chat about which design might suit you best, or if you're wanting to refresh the website as a whole, like write some more content and things like that, we can discuss those things as well. That wouldn't be free. If you want us to write content, we need to quote for that separately. So really the free refresh entails taking what you have and fitting it into a new design. This is really a design refresh. But happy to chat about what's right for you. So feel free to email us. And when you email, I can send you sneak peeks of the other 4 themes coming this year as well. You might want to wait for one of them if you fall in love. So I think the last thing to mention is that we do currently have a queue. So only work on a couple at a time, just so we can work through the queue. So if you email us, we can put you in the queue, or we'll let you know where you're up to and when we can work on it. I'll just double check the Q&A while we go. Awesome. All right. Oh, actually, I forgot. I put on screen here the sneak peek at our next themes as well. Personally, I quite like Flare in the middle. It's very image heavy as well, and I know we've got a couple of people waiting for that one too. But we also have Spark and Gradient, and we've also got Swift as well. So there's a few new ones in the pipeline as well. So if you love the look of one of these, happy to put you in line for that. I just want to reiterate, obviously all the content, imagery, colors is customized to you. So it's a theme, you know. We have, for example, Gradient on the right hand side does actually feature a gradient of color, but that color could change, and obviously the images will change dependent on you. So it definitely still is customized to suit you. So don't stress too much if you don't like the blue or the green or whatever. That's definitely something we can customize. It's more just the layout of where things are, and even the shape of buttons and things like that. The menu would be a big one. You can see on that left-hand side, Spark design. That's a very different menu to, for example, Flare. So I can point those out as we chat if you email production@bizinconline. And just a reminder, we always do custom designs as well. So if you can't find exactly what you like, I'm more than happy to design something custom for you. We'll just quote that depending on what you're looking for. All right, our next little update, some of you probably know of a lot of the free resources that we've released in the last probably year or so. You may not know how we've done that, which is through a WordPress plugin that we built called BizPress. Again, due to, I can't claim that I built it, due to Jayden's great work behind the scenes here, we've been able to release key dates, a business glossary, we've got payroll resources, a payroll glossary, and lots of partner resources. So Xero, MYOB, QuickBooks, and Sage. We have video resources for all of those. So Jayden will send you some links so you can check out a few of these. But if you have any questions or want a specific country example, let us know, and feel free to just type in the chat if you have a particular request. For example, if you like the sound of the MYOB resources, which have been recently updated, by the way, feel free to message us and we'll add them for you. Or better yet, email support@bizinconline.com with the particular item that you want to check out, and that'll raise a ticket so we can add it to your site. So Jayden's just madly typing those in, but I just wanted to ask Jayden, what's next for BizPress?
Well, next is we'll be soon releasing it to the world. Not quite. So basically, at the moment, it's only on our client websites at the moment. But very soon, we'll be launching it so anybody with a WordPress website can get our resources through BizPress. So if you know any other accountants or bookkeepers with a WordPress website and they'd like some of the resources, we'd be able to help them out as well. Another thing that's coming soon is calculators. We have a whole bunch of these online calculator tools that we can then add, will soon be able to add to people's websites through BizPress as well.
Right.
Should be interesting.
Yeah, so that'll be next. Yeah. I should have mentioned, sorry, as well. You can probably tell by the type of stuff we're releasing here. This is designed to help your small business owner clients mainly. Obviously, payroll. It's a pretty specific topic, and the business glossary, can help individuals as well. But a lot of this is focused on business owners. So the idea is that we put them on your website, and you would share them out. Key dates is probably a pretty obvious one. You might email that out to your clients each month. Here's a heads up on the deadlines. Put that on social media, those sorts of things. So pick them out sort of one by one to use in your marketing, or really client comms and education type marketing. And calculators is just another next step of that as well, is useful content that we hope will help your clients and help you as you talk to them, give you ideas. So stay tuned for calculators, and do message us if any of the others interest you as well. Awesome. So now just a sneak peek at what we're working on next in 2024. We've touched on the new themes that we'll be launching. So there is a lot of work in the designs there. We've mentioned that we'll be launching Compass email templates for Outlook. So that's that Chrome plugin where you can get the templates inside, but for Outlook Online. And I mentioned some of the resources that we've delivered via BizPress, and that calculators will be next. So the big item left there, listed first, is Compass. So let's take a look at that. So Jayden, can you quickly tell us what is Compass?
Sure. Well, Compass is the email marketing app we're building at BizInc. So it's its own standalone email marketing app designed for accountants and bookkeepers that will benefit you, because it'll have a lot of automations and pre-written content, along with all of our templates that we'll be adding in as well.
So I guess people might be asking, what's the difference between the email marketing tool that's in the back end of their website already? But really, as Jayden's touched on, we're going to be delivering a lot of content specifically for accountants and bookkeepers. All our templates will be stored there. And obviously we will build it entirely ourselves as well. So we'll be able to add more and more features as we go. So there's lots and lots of work that is going to go in, has already, and is going to go into the building of this standalone app. So we've got a little sneak peek for you on screen of the email editor, which again is still in testing. And we hope that we'll be able to do partnerships with other providers. I guess I better not mention anyone by name till it's sorted, but other content providers, software, tools that you use to get their content flowing into here as well. So I think that would just save you guys a lot of time, and have your emails pre-made for you. So if you've come along to our webinars before, we usually bang on about email marketing. We know it's the most effective, the highest ROI for accountants and bookkeepers. So it's definitely a digital marketing platform you should look at. And in most of our clients' websites, we have an email marketing platform in there already. We've just got lots more we want to build into our own one. So that will be coming soon. Our goal is to get this into beta testing mode with a few of you next quarter. So stay tuned for that, but that's just a bit of a tease as to what we're working on this year. And if anyone has any questions, as always, send it through. I'll go on to the next slide, which is trying to work. So if you do, just a quick reminder on how to get support from us. Firstly, you're welcome to visit our knowledge base, which is support.bizinconline.com, more for instructions. If you've forgotten how to post a blog or add a featured image, something like that, Jayden's got the link there for you to check that out. I just want to let you know we will be updating that this year as well. It's another project we're working on. There's a few changes with that flexible platform I mentioned. So there's a few, videos and how-to articles that we need to update for you there as well. So that will be coming. If you have a question, feel free to email support@bizinkonline.com and that will raise a ticket. Jaden manages that for you there. But you can also use live chat from the back end of your website or on BizInk's own website. Just encourage you to leave your email address, your name, your website URL so that we can get back to you. So we know who you are. Sometimes it won't pick up who you are, especially on the BizInk website or if you're not logged in or whatever. So, and just so we can get back to you if we don't happen to catch you live. We've got clients across the world, so we don't always catch everyone right at the exact time. So, thank you for that. Also, I just want to mention that there is an article on how to best raise a support ticket. So if you can just make sure the subject line of your email sort of details what the request might be. Something like update or website isn't real specific. So it's just a bit of a time saver if we can see at a glance what that's about. That would help us out a lot. Thank you. All right. So now that's all the content for today. We've just got time for a Q&A if anyone has any questions. So it could be about anything we've discussed today, including that technical DMARC stuff. Could be something about a website refresh, or if you've just got a question in general about your BizInk website or something you want us to develop, feel free to send that through now. I'll just check on my screen. I know we've got a couple in here. A few people waiting for Outlook email extension, so that'll be great. Awesome. Jaden, just a question. The content that we give in BizPress, people are asking if they can edit the content, for example, add their own key dates.
Yes, we've had this question. Not at the moment, unfortunately, but that is a feature I'm working on rolling out soon. So it's coming soon. But
yeah.
Awesome. And is there any repercussions if they don't add the DMARC record right now?
For the time being, especially if they're below that 5,000 per day, there is no repercussions yet. However, the other side is really only benefits to adding it. So we really think you should add it. And I think we mentioned this before, the Google and Yahoo have implemented the restriction for 5,000 per day at the moment, but they're more than likely in a few months' time to decide to lower that. I have no idea of if they will or not, but they tend to be heading in that direction. So
yeah,
it's better to have it there now, but there'll be no repercussions if you don't in the next little while.
Yeah. Our best guess is this is going to be rolled out. It's just a staged rollout. So it can't hurt to add it. So I don't ignore it is my advice. Do something about it now. So then you're all ticked off when it inevitably does probably roll out to you. We've just got a question from Rhonda about how BizPress resources show on the website as a page or a blog post or some other way. So good question. Jaden has pasted some links in there. So I'll bring up this one. Give me a sec. Oops.
I can answer that if you want.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah. For most of the resources, they come up as their own page, and I think Antia is bringing up one at the moment. But like, for example, if you have QuickBooks resources, there'll be a QuickBooks resources page on your site, or key dates, as Antia is bringing up at the moment. And all of this entire page here that you're seeing is generated by our BizPress plugin. So that's usually how it operates. It's just a page in the on standard page within WordPress.
Yeah. So they would in the back end see it in the pages. You would see a page called Key Dates or Business Glossary or whatever. So you would be able to see it there. But if you actually went inside it, all you'll see is some code. So it's actually managed by us from a central repository, I guess is the best way to explain it. We deploy this content. Like Jaden said, at the moment, it's not able to be edited. We try and do our checks and our research for the year in terms of what the key dates are for your region. Sorry, I forgot to mention key dates. Most of our glossary and stuff is available for all 5 regions that we focus on. So Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Canada, and the US. Sorry. Those are the 5 regions that key dates are available.
And Ireland as well.
For key dates, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And key dates Ireland, yeah.
Question. Hopefully that covers your question, Rhonda. I think Pages is the short answer, but we manage it ourselves. Probably depends on the resource that we develop in the future, but I think calculators will be a page as well. Hey, Jaden. So,
yes, but each calculator will be its own separate thing that you can put anywhere.
like click
really.
into. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, great. Yeah. I guess I'm just spitballing here live on a webinar, which is probably a bit dangerous, but I'd love to do a sort of general resources section where all the kind of like what we currently do with business resources, where all these are sort of housed or, able to be managed. That's it, probably easy enough to do. It's all just about creating a page with links, but that might be a future update we do as well. So there's one section people could go to. Jaden's just hearing
adding more
work.
to my list, but
yeah.
sure.
Well,
Yes.
if anyone has any requests like that, though, just let us know. Question from Lisa, Jaden. If the DMARC tests indicate all okay, like BizInk's check was, is there anything we need to do?
If it's like the one you saw Into of BizInk, then no, you're fine. Yeah, you're right to go.
So
yeah.
Just showing that again. If it shows something here, is that right?
Yes, or just up above where it says DNS record. If it's there and got the smiley faces, you're fine. You're good to go.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Lisa. Good to know you're all good. Just got a question from Nada, newsletter page, bit of colors in the background. I'll have to check out your website to see what you mean by the newsletter page. Potentially we could change the background color. I'll probably pass that on to Jaden via support. So if you want to email support with that request, we can look at it a bit further and just see what's possible. And I just want to note down, Andrea, I have seen your message, so I'll reach out to you and see if we need to update your website as well. If there's any other questions, feel free to send them through now. Jaden and I'll stick around for a couple more minutes if anyone has anything else. Otherwise, thank you all so much for joining live. Really appreciate you spending the half hour with us, taking the time to do so. I hope it's been useful, and email on screen if you have any questions again. And I'll definitely send out a copy of this recording and links if there's anything else we can help with. I don't see any other questions. So thanks, Jaden, for coming along, and thanks, Major Siblings.
Siblings, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Alrighty. Thanks, everyone, and have a good day.